I was about to go. I came across this screen shot of this article, right? And I was about to go in because I've heard about Carrie Underwood talk about. I've heard before that Carrie Underwood didn't like necessarily like the daddy lessons thing at the CMT Awards, whatever, years ago. And so I'm like, I've heard that, and I'm like, I don't believe it, but some people were saying she said something that night about it negatively ish. And I'm like, I don't know. I can't imagine. So then yesterday I came across this. I'm like, let me get on here and talk about this. And I'm looking for the article because it looks like it's a Facebook thing. And I'm like looking. And so then I actually like read it. And don't call me stupid, but I'm like, I actually read it. And I'm like, Faith Hill and Jason Aldean canceled concert with Beyonce. I'm like, that's not Faith Hill. That's Carrie Underwood. And so then I went back to the person who posted it, and I didn't even read what they said. And they were like, that's not even Faith Hill. That's Carrie Underwood. White people make up shit all the time and run with them. Like, oh. So there's nothing here to say about this fake beef. But one thing that I did when I was like searching up her name in the Google News, one thing that did come up was like people are finding her unrecognizable. And I guess maybe from that throwback picture of her that she posted about her American Idol days compared to now, I'm like, well, yeah, I've been trying to tell y'all that, but y'all don't listen. So anyways, I've been told y'all that, and I don't want to like really go into it. I think I've already gone into it. I don't want to keep reiterating this like narrative that I have, or this story that I have, because I've been trying to get tickets to see her Vegas residency. But I'm guessing I need to go to the Grand Ole Opry because that's where she does the deep cuts, wine after whiskey, and so small and drunk and hungover. Not that I'm a big fan of drunk and hungover, but I'm like, oh, I need to go to Vegas to see her. I mean, to the Grand Ole Opry. Um, 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 but I've been trying to get tickets to go see her in Vegas, and everything is like it's a lottery, and you gotta put in like money, and I'm like, no, it's supposed to be free. I don't know. Whatever. If it happens, it does. It's not happening so far. But anyways, my whole thing with Carrie Underwood starts back when she quote unquote fell and busted her face open, and then she came back with a brand new face. So, anyways, that's all I'm gonna say about that. Just go back to that era. I think that was right before Cry Pretty came out, or when Cry Pretty came out. But whatever. Let's just move on to this like Cowboy Carter tour. Now, this person on Twitter, they always like give like insider shit and what's about to happen stuff in like 6 to 12 months time period. So let's just read this. The Cowboy Carter Beyonce tour was supposed to go on in September, October with Latin America, Australia, and I can never say that country, and later Asia. But giving this time is a privilege. Giving this is a time. Giving this time a privilege to countries that she could not previously visit, with the Renaissance with the Renaissance tour, and in this case, leaving the USA as the last leg. However, as has however has happened with Olivia's Guts tour, oh Jesus, the announcement began to take longer and postpone more than it should have. I don't know what that would mean, other than things are not ready to go on tour, right? Um, Longer and postponed more than it should have. Where every week the countries and places ready for the tour changed. Yeah, so you're not ready to go on tour. Logistically and literally. The same thing happened with Europe, which was expecting a leg for the summer, which was supposed to start in May, according to a bunch of stuff. Do you guys remember that? But since nothing has happened, we believe that the 2024 tour was going to be canceled and left for 2025. The good news is that that did not happen. There is no cancellation but rescheduling for the legs. Where USA, it will continue to be the last one for the spring and summer 2025, while Australia and Asia will go for later this year. Exactly as the Guts tour, Australia, and Asia leg will be announced without Latin America because they are going to be scheduled for later, potentially 2025. This since initial plan has always been to announce multiple countries that are not just Brazil. So now there is an opportunity for Beyonce to bring the tour to Latin America, to multiple countries. As for Europe, there is not much information. They could be before Australia or Asia. But this time, B wants to visit new countries. Okay, so allegedly she's going on tour. Apparently, she's going on tour um, at the end of the year, at the beginning of the year, and she keeps posting like these random ass photos. It's like, what are you doing, Beyonce? What are you doing? What are y'all doing on this balcony in this house? Like, okay, you're living your life, clearly, but like, what are you doing? Like, can you give us a caption or something? Like, at the ranch or at the store, eating dinner. Like, I don't understand. It's funny, but whatever. So yeah, tour. You know what I've been watching? I've been watching the Formation tour, and I'm like, damn, I really missed out. I really should have went to the. Okay, you're the Formation tour. Um, Also, Katy Perry is supposed to be releasing new music along with Lady Gaga. They were like Lady Gaga's some dude, some designer who made stuff for her album was like, oh yeah, the album's coming out in August. Okay. And now Katy Beth Perry, hopefully she's back to slay because I don't have time for any more flops on Katy Perry. Katy Perry can't afford another flop. Like you got American Idol money, use that to garner your career. Also, you know what? I was reading, I was listening to something came across my timeline, and it was like Lady Gaga wanted, I think, Art Pop to be like a quote unquote visual album, but Interscope didn't want to fund it or give her a budget or whatever. And I was just like, well, Lady Gaga, at that point, you had enough money. Like, I don't understand why certain new artists aren't taking the Beyonce route with funding your own career, funding what you want to do. These women have lots of money. Okay, Katy Perry, you have lots of money. Gaga, you have lots of money. Rihanna, you see what Rihanna's done. You see what Rihanna has done. Like, fund your own ventures, fund your own career. Beyonce funded that B-Day anthology. Beyonce ended up funding and creating Parkwood. Fund your own career so you can do whatever the F you want to do. Instead of waiting on some record label. Or maybe she didn't have the money. I don't know. Maybe I should have talked on Lady Gaga's finances after Born This Way. But anyways, Katy Perry, they were talking about Katy Perry is like a dance album. Yeah, okay. What else did they say? It's her emancipation of Mimi. I don't know what that means. Because honestly, Charm Bracelet was a good album, but it wasn't a flop, right? Um, or maybe the world doesn't consider it a good album, but it's not a flop. Glitter sold lots of records. It was definitely not a flop. It probably just didn't. It got a Loverboy, which was number 2, and that was the remake of Loverboy because she had to go remake it because she thought she got paranoid. So I was just like, whatever. Let's see what Katy Perry has. And that's all I got to say. Leave a comment below. This is the Dare Show podcast. I'm on Instagram at My Love Money Tonight. There wasn't a whole lot to say. I shouldn't have even done this. But